Okay, so let's pretend like we're doing a shoot. You want to be handheld camera operator?
Sure.
All right. Now, John, can you get us a longer cable?
Sure.
Maybe a 15-footer or something?
That sounds good. Why don't you get a couple?
I think one will be fine.
Get up.
All right, so let's first talk about the boom pole and operating it and being in frame and so on. So, why don't you go over here as if you're shooting at me this way. Actually, who wants to be our actor for now? All right.
Alicia.
You are the actor for sure.
Got the good hair.
Okay.
Got it.
All right, so it's time for your close-up. We got to get good audio out of you.
Turn it on for you guys.
Now we need.
I'm just gonna pretend.
Oops, I'm sorry. Thank you. Now we need to. Boom operator needs to know what's in frame and what's out of frame. Okay, so you need to be able to see the screen as well.
Right now.
Now drop that mic down pretty close until you see it in frame.
You're in, you're out.
All right, get it up a little bit higher.
Sorry.
Oh no, Brett.
Nathan, if this is handheld, then you'll always be extra careful. And so you'll peripherally feel the lens. But if it's on a tripod and he gives you a frame line, you can look and find something in the back as to what helps you know that you're not in the frame.
Gotcha.
And also, guys, because I've noticed this in the studio, don't be afraid to use flags when you're being killed by light. Don't be afraid to get a C-stand, set up a flag so that you're not, casting a shadow.
Let's extend that a little bit. It's going to pop when you unplug it, so be ready for that.
Interactive experience.
Bless you.
So, this particular boom pole is much better than the ones that you guys have been used to using. It's not going to make as much noise. It should be good.
I know, it's so wonderful.
Looks like it's carbon fiber.
Oh, right.
Velcro is the smallest substance known to man. I was trying to hold it on.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, now you have a little more freedom with that pole.
Yes, thank you.
All right. So you want to make sure that you aren't completely distracting the actor, but get a place pretty much as close to being in frame as you can without the chance of you falling into frame. So that looks maybe a little bit uncomfortable. And you're really miking the top of his forehead now. Why don't you back it up a little bit, and you want the front of the mic to point right at the top of his mouth. Okay, that's probably a good position. A lot of times, in order to have the most flexibility with how you move it, you might want to go up with both arms and angle the mic a little bit more, like that. That's a little bit easier on your arms too, strangely enough, keeping them sort of locked like this. It also gives you the opportunity to move it around a little bit better. Get something? Oh.
Well, okay, if I could interject something.
Yeah, sure.
So as a camera operator, it's a terrific favor to initiate conversation with your audio guy, and especially your boom operator. I would encourage you to talk to each other. Boom operator, ask, where's the frame line? How far down in can I get? And likewise, if you can initiate that with your boom operator, say, hey, I'm ready, you want to set a frame line? And then you can ask him to move the dead cat down into frame until you see it and give him an idea where it is. So you guys want to try that?
Yep.
And you can just go down, 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 in, up, up, up. Gotcha. You're there.
And if the actor yells at you for being too close.
Actually, I will
Depends on the
say
relevancy of the actor.
guys, this is kind of important because we don't talk about this much. And that is how to take care of an actor. Now we have an operator, we have a boom person, and let's say your actor has to talk to somebody who's just off the matte box camera left. So this boom operator, if he or she cannot work on the other side, and this is the only place it works, they literally are so focused that they take themselves out of the scene. They don't make themselves a part of this focus, this eye-to-eye thing that we're doing now. And I can't tell you how important that is. You've heard stories about an actor picking up a phone and throwing it at somebody. It's because it's day 60 something and they're so tired of giving and giving and giving, and finally someone is just not being respectful. And that's all it is. It's a matter of respect. So what you have to hope is that no one on the crew is walking around or picking their nose and doing all kinds of stuff that while you're actually getting something, this actor's about to break down and cry, you know? So,
Go Christian Bale on us.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, don't you hope the boom operators, you're not a professional or whatever he said that one.
I
Have you
I
heard
feel
the
like,
audio too?
yeah, I feel like the job, one of the key things about doing audio in particular is that you need to be completely transparent. You need to not exist as far as everybody is concerned. Nobody needs to know about your technical problems, about your positioning, your miking, where you're standing. You just do it and don't let anybody know that you're having a hard time or that something is not going quite right. Just don't be involved in the scene. You're just in the background.
And you know, there are things that will help you that have been ordered, like an Apple box. An Apple box may actually help you get a better angle, you know, by being 6 inches, 8 inches up in the air. And also during rehearsal, you know, that's when you should start sticking your boom in and seeing what kind of shadows you have to deal with, what things that your teammate, because that's your operator is your teammate, you know, how you can help one another.
Knowing the dialogue, so you know when to
Absolutely.
turn that boom mic. You have
Absolutely.
two actors going back and forth. You can't just hold that mic in one position lazily. It's going to sound terrible. You got to move it back and forth completely gracefully so it doesn't have wind noise or rumble noise. And that's kind of hard to do. If you see videos of boom mic operators, they're lightning fast. They don't miss a beat or anything. It's a good boom mic operator is good.
And when they do miss a beat, you'll hear it, because the beginning of the sentence is okay, and then it's on mic. And it's like, oh my God, and that's unusable.
Another thing along the lines of boom operators and scenes. So let's say you have like a 3-shot scene, close up on me, close up on you, then a wide shot. If the mic is right up here on you on the close up, right up here on me on my close up, but then up here on the wide shot, that may not work very well. Although it might, it depends on the scene. So be conscious of that each time you're doing that. Make sure you're getting even audio all around. You never know which audio from which take you're going to want to use with which video.
Also, there are some people who think, especially at universities, who believe that, boy, this is killing me all day. And it's like one of those jobs that, yeah, it hurts. And they start thinking, you know what, I can not only get out of the way of the shadows and everything, but I can start booming from underneath. Not a good idea. You get a completely different room ambience if you start booming underneath. If you've been booming up above, it just is a different mic placement, kills you. Also remember the mic that you're using, so that if you do ADR, you're going to want to bring that mic in.
Oh, definitely.
So
What if
you're
you
not
have
suddenly with a
scene
U87.
where one actor's yelling, another actor's very mousy and quiet? Are you just pulling the boom away from the...
No, you want to keep that
Person.
boom similar distance, otherwise you're going to totally different room ambience. Set your levels to the yelling, and you have to mix it later on.
So you set it to the louder person?
Yeah.
You may also want to have your boom, and also on the person who's quiet, you may want to attach a wireless. So, so you always have your backup, and you can mix the two together and they sound great, because you have your room ambiance as well.
When you go up and down, like, or are you talking about like the boom being down? And
Yeah,
up? Are
coming
you,
up
Are you looking
like
like,
this.
are you saying like don't switch in terms of consistency, or that
Oh,
up
it's
top is just better than the...
Personally, I'm now getting the buzz of the LEDs, or if these were fluorescents, I would get the buzz of the fluorescents. They're LEDs, so I don't know what kind of noise they actually truly make, unless I put on the headphones and went up there and listened. But you might get air conditioning, you might get whatever. It's just a different sound. If you want to do the entire scene from below, make sure you get room tone from below. So stay consistent. I've never actually watched a great boom op come from underneath unless it was just mandatory. Just, they were getting killed by lights.
Exactly, I think that would be about the only time
Yeah.
you would want to do that. Or if the floor were maybe super reflective, but the ceiling was more dead, that might be better, it just depends, but I think it's really rare to go up from below.
Yeah.
Okay, so booming, easy enough. Let's talk about using the lav with that. That's easy enough. I mean, you all know how to put a microphone on a lapel. So using one lav,
But
no
it's,
problem at all.
can you explain to them? Actors have a way of doing things, like they'll have on a lav, and it'll be put on with double stick tape. And you'll see this a lot. You'll see this in jogging scenes, where someone has a fresh t-shirt, no one even went to the trouble of washing it from wardrobe, so it looks like it's right out of the bag. Don't let that happen. Then you'll see this little bump right in the middle, and it's like, oh my God, it looks awful. So figure out where you want to put and how you want to put on your wireless. But actors have a way of sometimes emoting and touching themselves and completely destroying that tape from the wireless point of view. So keep that in mind. As you're rehearsing, start to think backwards. Well, I need a wireless. If you do, maybe I would put on a shirt, or maybe I would put this on, like I had this morning when it was cold, and we could actually really hide something in here really well. And just hope that the fabrics aren't rubbing against each other. But so you double stick it to both.
Absolutely. So, on the wireless unit here, you can see that there's a meter built into it, so you can check your levels. If you need to adjust your levels, you can, oops,
That's right. No.
adjust those. If I get up in the right
There we go.
mode, I click on sensitivity, and I can adjust the sensitivity to wherever I want it to be. If you're really loud, you can lower the sensitivity. If you're really quiet, you can raise it up. It's just like the mic trim control on there. I'm going to set it to -27 and set.
That's standard conversation. Just like,
Yeah, that's it.
like I'm just like, we're just talking back and forth.
Yeah, that'd be fine. It probably defaults to 30, and that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, and then we'll get out of here. I'm just gonna exit now. Okay, so now, we would want to normally put this lower, but I don't want to put this on your shirt because it might ruin your shirt. I'll just go ahead and put this on your lapel,
Okay.
just as a demonstration for now. And go ahead and plug this into your backpack. Okay, talk a little bit, give us a little bit of the kind of dialogue you're gonna do for your scene.
Okay. Hi. I'm new to this.
All right,
It's my first acting job.
that's good. On the receiver, we'll do the same thing. So now we need to plug the receiver into the audio unit into channel 2. So now since we have 2 mics, we might want to send the boom mic to the left channel and the wireless lav to the right channel.
Oh, I'm trying really hard.
Okay, remember the procedure for setting levels? Put the knob for channel 2 at 0. And use your depressible mic trim knob on channel 2 to adjust that for the dialogue level. You'll have to talk a little bit. Just do check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2.
Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2.
Is that the level you're gonna be doing your scene at? Your theoretical scene?
Yeah. Just talking conversation, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yep. Check 1, 2. Sound. I want to eat this dead cat.
How are those levels looking? A little low? Okay, so leave that knob at 0 and use the trim control to get it up a little bit. And once you have good trim with the knob of 0, you can then use the knobs to control a little bit more levels. Okay? Doing good?
Yep.
All right, so we have the boom on the left channel and the lav on the right channel, right?
Yeah.
Adjustable via the switch. Is that how it's set over there?
Is this giving you a couple different options on what audio to use?
Absolutely. Or you can combine them. So that gives you some various options. Are there more batteries? Great.
That's not what I saw. Which ones?
And both of them.
Thank you.
Here's something that, when we're on set, we want to make sure that the answer is always yes. Do you have any more batteries? It's like something like that can take you down for like a half hour.
Thank you.
Back me up on that.
Yeah.
Because
well,
it's
batteries.
horrible. Oh my God, what a feeling.
I've
What a feeling. No. Sorry, guys.
yeah, I've run out of batteries on live things before, and it's not great.
Yeah,
It's really not great.
horrible feeling.
I've got a quick story about running out of batteries. I didn't check the batteries several years ago. I was doing sound for the Dalai Lama. He was doing a thing here, and it was a big event. And they have securities people all around, the DSS, which is basically the Secret Service for diplomats. And I'd been there for 4 days. They all knew me. But today, unbeknownst to me, there was a shift change, and there were no agents there except the lead agent that knew me. So the battery died, and there was a little bit of a break. So I'll just go up and change the batteries real fast. I start to run up the stage, change the batteries, and then great big guy just goes, boom, and knocked me down, and I'm terrified, and I look around, and I can see everybody, all the agents are on their phones, and they all have their hands in their vests, and I can hear it over the intercom.
And of course, you're holding a
Yeah.
device that looks like.
Exactly.
Great.
And then finally, the main agent, stand down, stand down, stand down. I was like, okay, and now I had to go through the dial-in.
Stand up.
Shake it. Nerve-wracking. So if I would have checked the batteries, that would not have happened.
I wish
Okay.
I could have worked that with you. No, I love.
Yeah. It was interesting adventure.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I have a second lav. I'm bringing this in for a very particular reason. Let's hook this second lav up to channel 3. Who wants to be a second actor?
I will.
Come on over.
That's ironic.
Whoa.
I'm not leaving.
Okay, well, go ahead and hook that up to your belt. And let's get you a little clip for that.
Oh, I always remember.
Another little clip from Bob. It may not be on your bag, you'll be able to just mark it on your bag.
Okay.
That's okay.
How's it?
Oh, God, stop, stop.
Yeah, thank you.
Please stop.
Okay.
All right, everyone be respectful around the people.
That would be nice.
They hear things a lot louder than you do.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have 2 lavs.
Oh.
Every time
does
like
something.
yank me back to the leash.
Your dog.
You have an extra clip?
We're looking for one. That may not have gotten unpacked.
By the way, I'd like to say one thing for you guys, out of respect, that if you have someone with a wireless that's on and you're a mixer and you realize that it's in between takes and your director is sitting there with headphones on and you're the mixer, give the actor privacy. Turn down the mic. That's what I would do. I too many times have heard things that have hurt other people. There's also a very famous story in Pirates of Penzance that I was in when Linda Ronstadt forgot to turn off her wireless mic and went to the bathroom. And that was the bathroom story.
Oh.
And the entire theater heard it. Oh my God.
Oh.
Quick fix.
Shouldn't have had to
Great.
breathe.
Oh my God.
Yeah, wireless mics,
Good thing
It is-
it's meant for girls don't actually do
I have a
that.
very.
What's that?
Good thing it's meant for girls don't actually do that.
There's a weird thing when you're listening to wireless mic and people don't know that you're listening to them. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, it
as a-
is.
as a
It
listener.
really
It's like,
is.
you know what, I need to not listen to this.
Yes,
And if you're listening to it, then maybe you should not be operating that.
right.
mixer.
Yeah, thanks.
It's uncomfortable, so you turn it down. And also, if somebody does overhear something, you can change the whole dynamic of the day like that. Imagine if the actor were complaining about the director, and the director heard that, ruined.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have two wireless lavs now.
And the actor's wearing them.
Let's go ahead and check the level on that second lav. That's plugged into channel 3.
Like if it's like a studio show.
What I want you to do now,
Hills are alive.
I want you to put both lavs on the same channel. Either both on right or both on left.
Be or not to be, that is the question. Whether to nobler in the
Both on
mind
right.
to suffer the
Okay.
scenes and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to
That's
take
good.
arms against the sea of troubles and buy opposing invents.
No problem. All right, so now we have two wireless lavs. This next part is a pretty important concept to understand it. We have two actors, they both have lavs on. I want you to face each other and talk to each other. And just talk back and forth.
No, Dave, I heard a pretty good joke the other day.
Really, let me hear it.
Yeah, so a golf club walks into a bar, and, the bartender says, "Hey, get out of here, we don't serve your swingers."
Move around
Swingers
as you're
club.
talking, just a little bit. Just move back and forth.
I messed that one up.
Not much.
Well, I have a
You have a joke?
counter joke.
Yeah?
to-
Let's hear it.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Okay, that's good. Now, what were you hearing out of the lav channel? Does the audio sound weird?
Well, his sounded really good. His was a little different.
Uh-huh.
Different.
Okay, so let's think about audio and how audio waves travel. So when you're talking, your audio wave is hitting this microphone very quickly. Your audio wave is hitting that microphone a little bit later. If they're combined together, they'll add and subtract in very different ways. If you move closer, they're going to be different. If you move farther, they're going to be different.
Does
So-
this sound a little weird?
Looks weird too.
What would happen if you have two lavs on the same channel? They'll add and subtract each from each other in an uncontrollable, unpredictable way, which means that when you go to mix down your audio, you may have audio completely cut out. It's called phasing.
Phasing.
This is a great big problem when you have the two combined together. It's a great big problem with live theater as well. So what you want to do is, if you have to have both actors mic, you want to keep them on separate channels. You want to put one on left, one on right, if you have to use two. I would avoid using two if you're having a boom as well, because we only have a 2-channel recorder. But that can certainly be a problem.
You can flip the phase,
And that's
But-
actually,
but I have to say, even when I've done that, it still gets funky.
it still gets weird,
It's
because
funky.
it's like if they're totally stable right here, you flip the phase, oh, that sounds good.
Yeah,
You back up, totally different.
yeah.
And to alleviate some of that, there is a switch on there, on channel 2. It's like a little 0 with a slash through it. That's a polarity or phase invert switch. I want you to hit that on channel 2 as they're talking. Go ahead, Bob.
This
So
is
Matt,
important,
Yeah,
guys.
Dave?
This is cool.
What's up?
Did you hear that joke about The Sopranos?
What's the joke about The Sopranos? Oh, I get it.
Because it just ended.
Oh.
Now, go ahead.
Oh no.
Warned you.
It goes down.
The same thing holds true whenever you're using more than one microphone. You have to be careful of phasing. If you're recording all the separate channels, that's not such a big deal.
This is important stuff, guys. Thanks.
When you're recording everything to a separate channel, phasing is not a big deal. You can deal with it later by mixing, changing the mix levels, or maybe even manually lining up the waveforms. But if you're combining two microphones to the same channel, you have to be dead sure that your phase is good. And you can use that phase invert switch to test between which is better. If it doesn't really matter if it's up or down, if it sounds better, use it. If it sounds thin and really bright and nasally, that means it's out of phase. If it's thicker and deeper and richer sounding, that's better. You want to use that. It's mostly in phase. You also might try moving the shotgun backwards or forwards a couple inches if it sounds really, really weird. But multiple miking is always tricky with phasing. Okay, so since we've been rolling for a while, let's just take a look at our time codes real quick and see if our time code is still accurate. Let's count it down. Nope.
Get back to display. 34, 35.
Be sharp about it. 7, 8, 9,
9,
11, 12.
Yeah, you're
So it's drifted a little bit. It's drifted because we have disconnected our box.
Oh,
Now, let's see what happens when we pop that box back in.
54, 55, 56, 57.
So with the footage
There
that
you go.
was shot without proper time code alignment, what did we do then?
Well, then you load it in your editor, and you get it close, and then you go, oh boy,
No.
I guess that
10,
looks okay.
11,
Does that look better?
12,
Does that look worse?
13,
Still off.
Well, you'd hope that you had a
We're still off.
clapboard with you.
Right,
Mm.
which we brought a clapboard in for that purpose as well.
Hi Jake, I
We're
think we're
still
still
off.
on.
Here's three.
What?
It's still.
Still on?
Really?
yes.
Let's see.
Do we have clapboards that we can check out?
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
Awesome.
Yeah, both by one.
Safety.
Yeah, Jake, should we always
Safety's
use a
good.
clapboard even if we have this new box?
Yes, always use a clapboard at the beginning of everything.
We do.
Okay, so it seems to have drifted, which is surprising me. We may have done something on accident.
I think
So let's just leave it connected. We'll go ahead and come over here. We're just gonna.
You gotta pull over.
Or tethered.
I don't know.
It's like
Yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay.
About the
I think
fortune
that
teller that broke
this is
everything.
not jamming
Midget
properly.
fortune teller who broke out of prison.
Oh, I see what
They
happened.
say it's a small medium.
Our power has gone off.
Oh, yeah.
So
What
That's
about,
what I thought. If there was any tell.
there's an episode of Family Guy called Extra Large Medium,
That's not right. Okay, do it again.
I thought
Is that how you felt like it won't be blinking at me?
where Peter becomes like one of these psychics, like communicates with his head or whatever. Since he's fat, so he's extra large.
I don't have a tank.
Same one with like
May
big
have
one that was
taken
like.
extra medium is bigger or smaller than medium.
Do I have to be recorded?
Extra medium.
More middle.
That'd be like saying I want more neutral.
You ever decide?
It's
an extra medium, bigger or smaller than medium?
One more.
Did you ever figure it out?
It's the same size.
More medium?
I think it's smaller.
What?
What's more, medium or extra medium?
But I wanna see if I fix it,
What's more,
because I have tons of plugins.
medium or
So I
extra
might
medium?
fix it.
Where we were talking about where it's there's no such thing. Because medium's supposed to be neutral.
Oh, and they're fun of us, yeah, that's so funny.
Where it's manatees pulling out balls that
Oh,
have
yeah.
different like words on them that together form a
Version
picture.
of reports is
So
like
perfect.
conversation.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, like,
Spy.
Family Guy's like my like dirty pleasure show that like when I don't hear like watch it.
Yeah.
Like I like how we're gonna Yeah, just don't hear that on audio. Because every once in a while, every once in a while, we just be like,
All of these
And then I was like,
ways you can plug
and then
in.
like a lot, you know,
Last time we did this
I'll try to tone it out.
Clean up any frequency you need, and I had a feeling that we would so it's good. But I think it came from the little,
I do like
I
when
guess
they
that's
fucking
your last sketch where
I do like when they like.
Oh, yeah.
like,
Russell,
yeah, the boom mic guy
Russell,
always
so
interrupts the PSA
we
or
had
whatever.
line in to the C300, we had line
One
into
I've
the
seen
compressor, and then we had
Julie
line into
Louise
the Zoom.
trying to give a PSA to the
So
mic
it's
that keeps
probably,
your face and like
they probably took
my finger press.
rather than, yeah,
Like I gave them back the CF card every night, like once a week.
Beware.
right. That sounds great. I just ran through some filters.
Like miserable.
Thank goodness for plugins.
This is awesome.
Such a plugin.
I love
Using Russell Crowe for
it.
that.
Russell Crowe was amazing.
Okay.
I hate on Russell Crowe.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, here's what I need for you to do.
Here's somebody in mind.
It is for, I really need for you to stand in front of the class and talk to us about our protocol for checkout. because it's starting.
We're gonna take a couple seconds here to
And
record.
it's going to be random because
Fine.
these are 7 to 8 day shoots, but they're
Oh, by the way,
going to be chopped up because they're
Really?
classes.
You're in the camera.
Inside this little bag.
Days and things like that.
Camera's on.
So they're gonna be taking out equipment and the same bulk of equipment many different times at the same time. So we should
Lob units.
talk about what is needed.
Little packs there. Whoops. Yeah. Okay, now let's find our CF card.
Just heard.
Well, let me say something. Nathan and Carrie,
Should be a
Carrie,
CF card
sorry.
floating around here somewhere.
Can you guys tell us what is the, and Bob, tell us what is the package that is going out for your phone that you need?
Do you have the?
Yeah, we're wondering, how can we arrange a checkout scenario that will be good for you guys? Short of arranging anything official for the class, yes.
I like to dump my flash drive somewhere, but I don't know where.
I'm pretty sure that this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, okay, good, all right.
Except for the audio, I haven't really seen everything. So
Okay.
I wanted to still go.
Let's
Sure,
let's
well,
do a
we'll
little
get
acting
that
again
based
real
on
quick.
today.
We'll record audio and video.
This is great.
And then
14 millimeter,
you guys.
You want me to leave
wide
this
angle
attached?
lens. Joint.
Yes, absolutely. Should always
I'm
stay
gonna go back to the
And a
tripod.
little bit of lighting and grip
Great.
down
Hard for me
here.
to
Sure,
hold it.
Yeah, it is.
that's,
That should always
as
stay
you know,
attached.
that's
Because
certainly well.
with the C300, oh, the lens is, right, very good, okay.
We also got two light kits in here. We have the medium area kit and then the number 8 low kit, which is the two 150 lights.
Yeah, that sounds great. When you say medium area, you're thinking 4 line or 3 line?
3 light.
Perfect, great. So you guys are really ready to move.
Okay.
I don't believe you asked me this.
It's not a terribly heavy kit, in other words.
Here, Holly, look at clock.
Yes, we're gonna
We also have, believe it or not, the first aid and safety kit.
Yeah.
I've gotta get that to you
What
guys.
if his lights?
We have 3 of those. I'll make sure you have that.
So my first response is to your number one, to address Bobby's question.
Yeah, this is a
How
lot
are we
easier.
gonna queue this up for a checkout? And I'm completely open-minded about how we
Okay.
do this. It's enough
Now we're gonna do a little bit of
the
actual
experts
recording,
in the stockroom,
and we're gonna do a couple of
employees
variations on
to
it.
Know when you're gonna come in advance.
And then you
make
can
it an
share these
appointment
files
time,
among
and like to book
yourselves.
a full hour.
And load them
That'll
in
give,
the
you
computer
guys
and
can take a full hour, then
sync
you've
up.
got enough time to take
So
all the gear
somebody
out,
operates
check
the
it
audio
out
gear.
the way, and that's kind of what you do. Professional
Okay,
demo
whoops,
house. You take some time to prep the gear to be sure it was all right, and you knew that everything was gonna work.
Yeah, sometimes just sitting down.
My
is
suggestion would be to
good.
just
Put it in
take
a
a cart of time and an hour to do that.
is perfect.
And
on
that
the
way we can also bring in an extra person.
Okay.
To have somebody there to help.
Boom.
I
Mixer.
was gonna put in my request.
Camera, so I need somebody to operate
next
the slate.
weekend. I was planning on picking it up.
All
last
right.
Thursday, and
I think I brought the slate over
maybe
here.
after 2:15, so even after that, I come in for an hour and go through it and.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that sounds like a great arrangement. You were gonna input something.
Okay.
I was gonna say, are we doing? Is it gonna be a paper checkout since we don't have the barcodes yet for?
So let's get ready to
anything?
roll a scene here.
Well,
Just a little made up scene. Just holding back a bit. What I want to do is do
we
3
need to
takes
do these
of the scene.
manually.
Okay.
It
Take
could be a
1,
while
I want to
before
use
Mhm.
only
we
the
have the
boom mic.
barcodes because our
Yeah.
the part of the
Take 2,
university that does
I want to
barcodes
use
is said
the lob
it's
on
gonna
the
be a
left
while.
channel.
Um,
Lob 1 on
That's
the
a
left
good idea.
channel.
Other thoughts?
Lob
Would
2
it
on
be
the right channel. no
all?
boom.
I think it'd be
take
really
3,
helpful
going
for the
with the boom
monitors
on
if we
one
had a
channel,
list
and the
of
2
what you
lobs
guys want before
on,
they come in as well.
the right channel.
Because that way we can even get all the stuff out right before you even get there. That way we have it all set out, and you guys can just
Okay.
go like almost in the assembly line and just check it.
All right, let's everybody.
So your special request, something that would be important to next year's class is that all the equipment is the exact.
You know what?
That means I need to get.
There we go.
This marker,
Somebody
right?
has recommended names.
Oh, it's just,
They should all be dry,
Specific
right?
enough without being overly specific.
That might be
We'll circulate that where
Oh,
somebody can
thanks.
realize, okay, the cinema is 416 line.
Scene one, gave me all these Sure.
The area key light kit.
What kind of mic we have on there?
Sure.
So we need
Audio.
to circulate the nomenclature to use, so you know how to identify it. But that'll be,
That's good.
so, if you can spearhead.
Sierra, were you able to export what you shot?
Okay.
Oh, good.
What goes on that
So we
list.
can see it.
And in the meantime, just put a special request to WhatsApp, so I'll have it in the
Okay,
system.
we'll go on one second.
And then maybe we'll.
No, we do what